All right. Hey, STEM Capstone students. I'm here with Miss Tiffany King, who works at SAMET, and we're going to talk about a couple things that she does in industry. And rather than have you listen to me the whole time, which you're all tired of anyway, I'm going to ask her a few questions and let her speak to some of the stuff she does. So, Miss King, first, what is your job title, and then what responsibilities are included within that?
Hi students, I'm Tiffany King, so I work at SAMET Corporation. My job title here is the Regional Sustainability Director and Senior Construction Manager. We are a builder, so we do construction and management for projects in all sectors, civic projects, multifamily projects, education, housing, kind of all of those things, so kind of run the gamut. And then in my role, I kind of wear two hats. So as the project manager, I'm the person that's on site every day, watching construction happen and coordinating between all of the people doing the actual work, swinging hammers, building buildings, and then the folks that did the design side of it, the architects and engineers, and then the ultimate developer who owns the project, whose building we're building. So kind of coordinating between all of those folks, making sure that what gets built is what's wanted. And then the other hat is that sustainability director position. That's looking at the actual operations, how we are doing our work, how we can better be better stewards to the planet while we are doing this work that can be seen as, fairly messy and impactful to the surrounding communities, that sort of thing. We're trying to lessen those impacts or to have positive impacts rather than detrimental ones.
Awesome. And so it sounds like something that we teach our students a lot about: collaboration and communication, big pieces of what you're doing. Is that fair?
Yes, absolutely.
That's just to reinforce what I teach them. Awesome. So my next question for you, you've got this sustainability role, and that's a big part of what you're doing. Why has your company decided to create such a focus on these sustainable activities?
Yeah, so SAMET looked at this as an opportunity to be better partners for our communities that we work in. We've got 6 offices across the Carolinas and in Georgia, and we work in neighborhoods. We're building housing amongst, where people are living and working and going to school and all of those things. So we don't want to be that thing that you drive by every day and wrinkle your nose at and are upset and it's making a mess and you're worried about the destruction. We don't want to be those folks. So we decided that this was important to us for our communities, for our workers. A sustainable job is better for the folks actually doing the work. Cleaner air, better conditions. That's important for the health of our workers. Like I said, the community, and then the environment as a whole. What we do can have pretty bad impacts on the surrounding ecosystems if we don't do it right. So paying really close attention to that and making sure that we are constantly looking for continuing improvement opportunities and upping our game and doing better, not worse, and not being okay with status quo. That's really, really important to us. So that's what we are trying to do to make sure that we are leaving a good footprint, not a bad one.
Awesome. Love it. And sustainability, as I mentioned to you before, is the big part of what we do. So we love to hear that. I recently got to visit one of y'all's sites, one of the big projects that you're wrapping up right now, and you had a very ingenuitive method that you're lowering a lot of the waste that you're sending out. Could you give a brief description of what that was?
Yeah, so on our construction sites, we generate a lot of waste. This is kind of the nature of the beast, if you will. So a lot of trash is created and little scrap materials and things like that are generated. So we try to handle those materials in a couple different ways. We've got our basics, which is for the bulk of the material, which is we always recycle. Everything goes into one big dumpster, but then that is taken away to facilities where it is sorted. The wood, the cardboard, the metals, the concrete, all of those things that are recyclable, those get separated out and get diverted from the landfill. And then we also look for, that's kind of the basics. That's the easy. Then we look for some extra ways of reducing our waste and preventing those weird things that might go to landfill otherwise and finding them new homes. Because reusing and repurposing is definitely a better solution than even recycling. So we will collect scrap materials and we donate them to local organizations that need them, sometimes high schools, Girl Scout organizations. If they have a need for lumber parts and pieces, it might be too small for us to do anything with on a big new shiny building, but that doesn't mean you can't make a smaller project out of it. So we do collect some of those things and give those to our community partners. And then we also look for fun, creative ways to use materials that would otherwise not be able to be recycled, like our windscreen, which is this fabric that goes on our fencing around most of our job sites. And what we have been able to figure out what to do with that is we take it down and we turn it into tote bags. So now we've got these cool tote bags that, it's preventing something from going to landfill. And it also means it's something that we don't have to buy new and use virgin materials for to create bags. So it's kind of a win-win, and it's fun.
Awesome. I love it. And what a cool idea. What a cool different way to kind of do that stuff. So that's awesome. I love it. And so we've hit this a little bit, but I just want to give you the chance to speak to your passion a little bit more. Why do you in particular, right? Like I know you work for SAMET, you're saying the good stuff, but you in particular, why did you feel this was so important to implement these types of activities?
Yeah, so I've always been a person that cares a lot about the environment. Ever since I was in grade school, it's always been the thing that's been on my mind, to look around and see how animals are impacted by human behaviors, and the depletion of wildlife resources and habitat and things like that has always been an issue of concern for me. And I've been doing this for just about 20 years now in my role in construction because I like buildings. And it's one of those things that no matter what, we need buildings. We need places to live. We need places to work, go to school, all of those things. So no matter what, that's going to happen. But how we do it is really important. And historically, it hasn't been the best. And so when I started doing this 20 years ago, I saw that kind of in real detail, how good some things were and not so good other things were. And that did it for me. I was like, all right, I'm in it. I'm part of this. I'm building these buildings. Let's fix it. I see some problems that I can fix. Let's fix it. So that's what I've been doing. It matters. It impacts all of us. It impacts our families, our grandparents, all of those things. So it's something that needed attention, and that's why I got into it.
I love that. Like the passion piece, I think is huge. So thank you so much for sharing your passion with us, and for doing everything that it is you're doing, because we also like to breathe clean air and do all that good stuff. So love it. Thank you so much for your time.
All right. Thanks.